And we are live here on Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast. Welcome to the show. We are only going to be on YouTube this morning. So if you're joining us on YouTube, thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We are episode 183 here. We're going to be talking a little bit of A's here as I went to a game yesterday with my brother, who hopefully will join us here. He said he went with a run with mom. He goes at 7 o'clock. I was like, "You're going for a 4 mile run," and you said you're going to be back by 8. I was like, "No way, you're not a." I was like, "You're not. Mom's going to take you for 5. You're not going to go for it." So I was like, so we'll see if he makes it back here. We can discuss the A's, Brian. I saw a lot of things yesterday that brought up a lot of memories along the way for us that we can discuss. But I got my guys with me. Tyler McGurk back as always. And Tyler, look who we're joined by. It's been a long time. The TMB podcast. Here we go. We got it.
It's been a while.
When we get closer to football season, you know I'm going to be joining.
You'll be joined. Football is where Brian, he even has a bigger, I know it's a little bigger calendar, I feel like, than last year. I feel like you've upped your game a little bit more this year. Upping the calendar game. Last year, it wasn't so much. Tyler, how was your week, man? You fell off a truck. I know it was kind of a crazy week. When you sent a picture of that, I was like, what happened? So how are you feeling?
I feel like
Give me the
shit.
story.
My back is still stiff as a rock. My neck can barely move it. I was just trying to get a 3-tub sink into a big old box truck, and I was on the lift gate. Took a step to turn the 3-tub into the thing. There was no more lift gate, and Tyler went falling back like a rock, straight on his back, whiplashed his neck into the ground, and knocked his head. And from there, it's been just headaches and trying to get comfortable.
So you actually kind of got lucky then.
Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't break my leg or my arm, like falling back. Like if I got something caught underneath it, or it was really the best case scenario, just straight on my back.
I know the fact that you even said you might be able to play golf in a couple of weeks is like, to me, I'm like, my goodness, this guy got like really lucky, like that you might be able to, like, seriously, that's what I like it, because you fall off something else, right? You got lucky. So I'm glad everything's
like
good
a
there.
6-foot fall straight back.
Yeah, not the best. Johnson, how you been, man? It's been too long. You got a new job now? You're feeling good out there?
Yeah, it's like The Godfather. They brought me back into the legal courier field. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So
I like it, Johnson. I like it. What's up with?
That's it's the end of the post office. It just wasn't for me. It was like crazy hours. Like during peak season, I would get there at 6, and sometimes I wouldn't get home till 5 in the morning. I mean, I didn't expect it, and like the first week, you have to get used to it. I remember one night my leg was throbbing because I was all over the place. I felt like I needed to take an ice bath.
Your brother did that forever.
My brother's been doing that for like 25 years.
So that's what I always remember thinking. That's insane. I was there with it. All right. I also had my family in town. That was a crazy week for me. I had we had 30. Went to that Giants game, Tyler. We saw your Giants lose 4-2. Not shocking. You probably weren't surprised by that, but they did. It was pretty cool. We had 31 people there at that. And we had kind of met up the next day at my parents' house. So my mom and dad, you know what that takes to put on all that stuff. So that was cool. And that was pretty crazy in itself. And then we ended up going to the A's game yesterday. Me, my dad, and Casey. We ended up joining there along with my son, Xavier, and Derek. So that was a lot of fun. So we had all this huge week. Took the ferry, and then we go to Oakland, 2 different sides of the bay there. And I don't know. So let's get into that a little bit as Casey joins us. Brian, as I was there, that Oakland Coliseum memories, they ran true. I was like, am I really taking pictures of cement walls? But there are nice parts of it, like that. For us, we went so many times. And then, so I don't know, it was pretty crazy walking around. It definitely was not the same energy. There wasn't any let's go Oakland chance. I heard a couple people try it, did not sustain it. I did hear me and Casey. My favorite part was we just randomly were sitting at our seats, and then up in the hallway, where you'd walk around that first deck to get your food, you just hear a guy yell Raiders, and then followed up by another Raiders. I was like, whoa, are we? I brought that. I was like, where are we at here? So it was good stuff there. Brian, me and you, telling Case, we've had to have gone at least 50 times. it's gonna be low income housing here probably in a few years. That's what it's gonna be. So no more Coliseum. It was kind of surreal being there.
Yeah, I mean, just the upper reserve games that we went to all the time were just great. I mean, that one game where they played the Braves and I maybe thought Javi Lopez was gonna destroy the center field plexiglass, a home run off Ted Lilly, and I remember us going home and you going on a rant and saying the season's over, and such great
Sounds about right.
memories.
Sounds about right.
I only did that a few times. What do you think,
That
Kate?
is
After every
100% right.
loss.
That was like, I felt the same agony as we were driving to the ball game, Brian. Good to see you, fellas, by the way. But Darren telling the kids and everyone, we're not going to get a bobblehead. The dreams are crushed. We're not going to get a bobblehead. Sorry, guys. We'll go some other time. I'm like, there's got to be like 8,000 people and probably have like 10,000 bobbleheads. We get there, there's truckloads of bobbleheads still left. And I was just like, you're the most negative person I've ever met. I'm like, you're crushing kids' dreams before we even get to the ballpark. I was just like,
I mean, they thought he was a Red Sox fan in Game 5 because he wouldn't get up and cheer when it was two outs.
I've been burnt too many times by dream. I had a problem back then. All right, guys, I had a problem back then.
That was yesterday, Darren.
But as a result, we got a better smile out of Xavier when he got it.
We did. It was like Christmas was like alive again. I was just like, man, just kids crying before the game, and then
I don't know about that either. Actually, him and his brother kept fighting. That was what I did. I don't know, T. You've been there 1,000 times. You brought up a point. I saw in a tweet yesterday where you're like, yeah, but I had a lot of Raiders fans growing up in high school, a lot of A's fans, and now like we won't really. It's not gonna be the same. So that part, even from you, from a Giants fan, has got to be kind of interesting.
No, it just sucks. Like I just thought about it and like, what did I enjoy about the A? Because I didn't enjoy the team really. It was just having the like arguments in class and like. With people like my best friends none of them were really Giants fans, like you guys, and then Frankie's not a Giant. He was a Yankees fan, which is even worse. But it was always an argument about who's better. And it was a good time, and it was like friendly, but it was also passionate. You aren't going to have these like disagreements where you have respect, but ultimately you disagree, and it's fun, and it is what it just sucks for. Like
I feel like it's gonna really change Giants fans' perspective. It is. That's not gonna be there. Like so that is gonna. I was like, am I gonna be a sellout if I went to a Sacramento A's game? I was thinking like if I went to one, does that make me a sellout?
No,
I don't.
No, all right. So I'm just asking. I don't know. Like the A's did some stupid promo the other day where they had we're in Sacramento now with the under the bridge and all that stuff. So. I don't know. That got me thinking about that. I don't know. Case that Coliseum, like you said, we went to all those Raiders games too. That little chant there with it. Our dad missing the main entrance yesterday, so taking us through Fruitvale, getting to really see the inner city of Oakland. It was a good experience. But it was like kind of just a different spot. So you're like even taking Bart over all that. I don't know. It's just kind of like I don't know. It's just different part. I guess for me, that part I went there so many times. It's just like I realized that yesterday for the first time. I was like, I've actually been here way more than I thought I'd been, like a ton. So that opportunity of taking the kids yesterday to scare them and then get some food, Casey. That opportunity, it won't be there for me the same. Like going to a Giants game, it won't. It just was a different atmosphere. The Oakland Coliseum is kind of. You can go wherever it's just a whole different ball game than the Giants.
Oh yeah. It's a lot different because I think it's so much more laid back in a sense where, especially now that the team's leaving, I mean, you can hop around seat to seat, go around. I mean, you can see different parts, which is cool. I mean, I think you could almost like, I know you can't do that at every ballpark because there's seats filled up, but I mean, it's pretty cool. You can sit in the bleachers. You can sit below. You can sit mid. You can just go wherever you want, basically. It's free range.
They don't have vendors checking tickets anymore?
Yeah, in the first couple innings, I would say yes. After that, it's pretty lax. I mean, and so it was just pretty cool. Like, the only spot that we got stopped was apparently Stompers place or whatever. Like we were banned from going in there. I don't understand why, but that
was funny. I mean, Keith was like, "Oh, I'll take Xavier to Stompers Ground or whatever they call it, like because the mascot." Like I took him there like last time we went, maybe last year or 2 years ago. It's like this little grass area with like I don't know elephants on it or I don't know. So I'm walking through the door and the lady's like, "Excuse me, do you have idea?" I was like, "I'm trying to take my kid to Stompers Ground."
She's like, "You're not part of the party," and I was like, "All right, well." It's like this is the only part of the ballpark. I guess you're not allowed to go.
Stompers Ground, but you got that.
I think the craziest one was remember that guy who got arrested or something. He was yelling out, "I didn't do anything," and he's like, he's handcuffed on the ground. Remember that one time we went to the A's.
I've seen that a couple times at that stadium. We've seen that a couple times there. I've seen people fall down accidentally as well.
Was it Ryan?
How dare you?
I think that's got to be the best moment was Ryan yelling out Todd Jones and Todd Jones saying, "Go be a Giants fan."
Yeah, that was probably one of the up there with it because even my wife Hannah remembers that. So obviously, if she remembers that about an A's game, then she definitely.
Hey Brian, were you a trough guy or a urinal guy? Which one did you prefer?
Definitely a urinal. I don't think I could use those. It was just too dirty for me. It was too Oakland.
That's why
Nothing
Brian
like peeing in a bath.
That's why Brian sat in the bleachers more. The urinal's back there. The urinal's back there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe this one time I wore shorts. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. It was so cold too.
Oh, and you wore sandals. I told you before the game. I was like, dude, it's April. We're headed to Oakland. What are you doing? You're like, I'll be fine. I'm like, all right, whatever. Next thing you know, you wanted a sweatshirt.
The best one was when Brian turned back, like just absolutely red.
Yeah,
just like there's no sunscreen available. Apparently, there's a shortage of sunscreen. Just like
those Oakland A's day games, man. The sun just hits your face like no tomorrow.
Yeah, but the traffic that caused a lot. Casey yesterday was funny when I was driving. He's like, "This isn't." I could tell you were like, "This isn't even traffic," and I'm like, "Man, this sucks." Like, because I'm so used to just Cloverdale to Windsor. And we're like, we like slow down to 10 miles per hour. I'm like, "This sucks. What are we doing here?"
I was like, this is how life goes, dude. There's cars. It's not just 20-minute drives everywhere you go.
I know.
If you want to have fun, you got to go further than Healdsburg.
What do you mean Lake County's not that? No, I'm just kidding. Ukiah's great. What are you talking about?
Great Costco.
Yeah, Costco. They got great stuff there. All right, so yeah, the A's part there with it. Brian, your favorite A's player is it Dave Stewart or you got somebody else? I was guessing Dave Stewart when I was talking to Casey yesterday.
I thought it was Gil Heredia.
Gil's got it.
I mean, I would say it was between Dave Stewart and Jose Canseco for me. Those are my two favorite players.
Canseco threw out that first pitch through a strike yesterday.
How hard did he throw it? Did he get any gas behind it?
He did throw it pretty hard, right, Casey?
Yeah, I'd say probably 70s in that range.
It looked legit.
I thought it was kind of cool. He kind of flexed his arm when he was going out there to kind of show the bash.
The fans in Oakland, I don't even know if the A's meant to do this really purposely, but in the they brought him back like 5 years ago, I think it was. They did a reunion, and him and McGuire were actually in the same elite room. And I think for a lot of it was kind of weird because he was not at the ballpark for a long time, and he's for a period. I would say. I mean, obviously you have the 70s A's, but that was it's a little too far removed now from a lot of fans' mind. That I would say Canseco is probably looked upon maybe more at him but he's had that star power different than Henderson and those other guys that were because Henderson did lead. I don't know. Canseco to me was a different star. The A's fans gave him a pretty loud cheer yesterday. Case I thought that was a pretty loud ovation for as small a crowd as there was yesterday. And I think now as more time goes on, that part and they're leaving, that era is looked upon even more. So he's kind of a weird athlete. I mean, he was literally looked upon as the best player in the game, the biggest star in the game for 2.5, 4, maybe 4 years. It's just kind of crazy. Jose Canseco. I don't know.
I think the fans I don't know. I mean, it's kind of I wouldn't say Canseco and Bonds but I think just the steroid era it's whatever. I think as fans, it's we don't really judge. Some of us do maybe.
That's all we do.
maybe they're like old school and they, hey, you couldn't have done it without
Bob
it. But
Costas.
I mean, yeah, Bob Costas. I mean, Jose was the first 40-40 guy ever.
Don't you think he had a
And
little
so, I
wrestling
mean,
aspect to him? Like we would kind of flex to the crowd and kind of mess with them a little bit. He'd do his little head thing, and it was and he'd swing like he was holding a toothpick at times. Like he would like kind of go out of his way to kind of be like I felt like he kind of looked like a wrestling figure in some ways. As like a baseball player, kind of looking back at it, because I don't even know how he got 40 stolen bases. That always cracks me.
Underrated athlete.
Man, when I watched that 1988 A's video, I mean, that team was so good. I mean, at every level.
Luis Polonia, we had him at leadoff. So that was only he and Ricky.
But I mean, the fact that they nobody in the AL West even had a chance from the beginning. I think it showed that the All-Star break was like a 20-game lead or something. I mean, they just dominated the AL West that year.
I'm gonna miss that place. That was my biggest thing going there, though. That was that opportunity, even though it's a total crap hole if you look at it like that. It's still, I don't know.
It's your crap hole.
It's your crap.
It is my crap.
And we just well, like you said, it's not even going to a new stadium. It's like in getting out price. It's like literally like me case of like I don't like Oakland. I guess if you look at Oakland to Sacramento from where we are, it's not like a massive difference, but it's like the traffic level there. And then the idea of just a little bit farther.
It's way farther. It's not a little bit farther.
Like 45 minutes.
It's probably. I don't know, it'd take an hour and change to get to Oakland. It probably takes about 3 and change to get to Sacramento.
That long?
During certain times, yeah.
Well, during certain times, sure. But
if you go to a 1:00 game, you're not getting back till 9:00.
No, that would be miserable.
I mean, damn close to it, man. I mean, depending where you're coming from the north, dude, you guys
don't
can
get bad for sure. No, I drive to Sacramento often for work. It can get bad for sure.
That's where
you can have it. You can have a 3-4 hour trip all the way back easy.
Is the smart shape?
I thought that was the funniest video, the Oakland A's hype video for next year, where you have Stomper in downtown Sacramento.
Yeah, he's like. That was another thing yesterday. I was like, man, when we went to the game, I was like, gosh, it's actually kind of cold here. It's been so darn hot here where we're at. Like, I mean, like ridiculously hot. And then I go to the A's game, it's like 71. Like, I'm like, that's not going to be the case in Sacramento at this time.
I will say one of the best parts about going to the game yesterday, obviously going with Dad, you know, the kids, was Darren's 2 boys. They go, you just have like a recollection of like what it's like to be a little kid again.
Yeah.
And I'm just like coming to the realization in about the 6th, 7th inning. I'm going, Derek's only here for the food and Xavier's only here for a foul ball. And it's like everything else in between the score and the players really doesn't mean anything. It's just like
it did look like you guys cleaned up on those bobbleheads, man. Bob was holding 2, and then Derek was holding another 2.
Yes, we did, Brian. Yeah. Hey, take them at free will. Sell them on eBay later.
Sell them on eBay. No, we did. It was a good time though, for sure. Xavier though is more into like the other stuff, as Casey's kind of saying. Like that was the best part. So trying to run down the stairs, and we knew he had no chance of getting him. I didn't run down, and he got within what, like 75 feet of one, maybe when they threw it out.
He was closer to the Stomper than a foul ball.
Yeah, it wasn't that, but it was just the idea of him going out there. He enjoyed it. Like I said, won't be able to do like that. That's the part that for me that's frustrating. So it is what it is. Hopefully the Giants start losing more and there'll be even more empty seats. I can't add that.
We're getting there. We're almost there.
We'll get there with it. The Giants, they lose to the Rockies yesterday.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right. So is good.
Is Farhan on the hot seat?
He should have been on the hot seat a year ago. I don't know what we're just keeping him around to do nothing.
He does. Hey, Tyler's not liking Matt Chapman. He's called it from the beginning. He saw enough of him. I think we all know how Matthew Chapman can be.
How did Logan pitch yesterday?
Logan win.
Logan not great.
So
4 earned runs in 6 innings.
I just think it's crazy how long he sat out and that he didn't get that big contract, and he just isn't performing like you would think an ace would perform. I don't know.
Who, Logan Webb?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like he made the All-Star team. He's been a little bit off the last year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's a good pitcher. He's not great. He's not like this. I mean, he came in second in the Cy Young last year, but he's not like a Cy Young Award pitcher. I don't know.
If he's happy.
He's a good number 2 guy.
Do you think he's
and he's
happy
getting
about
paid. The Giants got him on a steal contract. I'll take that contract without contracts are going in baseball. Like that, Logan Webb's the least of my worries.
Is with the Giants Farhan like he had some funny quotes about Cambiar last week. He's like, yes, I think I'm thinking about we will not be doing the whole thing next year where you sign the free agents late in spring training. I didn't used to think that was the case, and we went against it this year, and I promise I'm not going to do it again this year. And I was like, buddy, you're not even going to be back next year. Like you're gonna have to take that theory somewhere else. Probably back to Sacramento with the A's. That's where you're headed back to Triple A's headed to Sacramento. That would be hilarious if the A's hired him and they're in the Sacramento building there for a while. I saw some good T-shirts there about John Fisher as well yesterday. That was kind of like a good part of the game yesterday too. Some John Fisher stuff with it. Casey got the helmet nachos yesterday, so he took the helmet out.
I did. Had to get a souvenir.
That was good. Monster Jam, that's where Derek did his Make a Wish. Was that place too? So that the part of it was weird seeing that transform. Went to the Raiders games there with it. I was trying to think if I went to any. I don't think I've been to any soccer games there. I don't think I went to any soccer games at the Coliseum. Did you guys ever go to a concert there?
No, I've been to the Oakland, like the Warriors to see concerts, but not.
Derek's like, what's that?
I went to an Earthquakes game once
at Oakland Coliseum.
No, in San Jose,
but
that was the only
you
soccer.
Supported John Fisher there too. You said it. No, just kidding.
Way before John Fisher, I'm guessing.
I know that was weird. What do you think of real quick before I move on from baseball? I have a question for you guys on the Derby real quick because we used to watch that. Do you think they should just go back to the 10 outs? Because remember that was the thing is like, he hit 35 and he still lost. That's so unfair. And I'm like, yeah, but that's all you're gonna remember is that guy hitting the home runs. He's actually the real winner if you think about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like this whole like I keep calling it an aerobic workout, but this whole like new system to me is like I don't get it. It's like it's an oblique killer.
So I got one for you guys as you say that. You remember the Josh Hamilton in New York? You guys remember? Do you guys know who actually won that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who?
More now.
Okay, I'm surprised. Well, you guys are baseball.
I only remember that because I was looking up to it.
But that's such a random one. Like it's like if you were the most common fan would not know that Justin Morneau. I would think was just like all you took away was Josh Hamilton crushing it.
That's exactly my
point. That's
his point. Just let the guys have 10 outs and hit the crap out of it, Tyler.
Do you remember the Philadelphia one when it was Mark McGwire versus Barry Bonds? That was a cool one.
The original bat flip. The original bat flip. But I just think they take the 10 outs they were taking like 3 pitches to every swing. And if it wasn't a strike, they'd take another pitch. It was just too much watching the bullpen pitcher throw the ball to the bat like the catcher. There was exciting times, don't get me wrong, like McGwire and Fenway, Griffey and Boston. Those were all great. And McGwire and Boston. All the like Griffey, Boston, Sosa. Was Sosa there? McGwire. Yeah, Sosa.
Yeah, they were all
those 3 guys in that Boston. That Boston one was great. And that was like 10 outs. But I'd rather watch guys swing than take so many pitches. That's my biggest issue with the 10.
So you would rather have them just hit it a little bit over the fence than way over the fence?
If I have to watch 4 pitches every time they swing, yes. It was taking like 3.5 hours.
They probably could put a limit in where like you can't take more than 2 or something like that.
That puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher, though.
Well, man, that throws the guy at the first part throwing to Bobby Witt Jr. was nasty. He was kept there. He was like throwing him like stuff all over the place. I was like, I don't know. I just think that. I guess it's too. I can't quite follow it. And then like you go 4-25, you get extra point. I don't know. I guess it's all right. But I guess it really just matters more if you get the star players in, and there wasn't enough of the star home run players in there.
I think at some point you just got to do accumulation. Like that's, I mean, maybe round by round, but just give them all 3 rounds and see whoever hits the most.
Yeah. But then at some point, there's one guy hit so many in one round that it's like, this is over already. And what's the point of tuning in?
Like
you run that risk.
Well, then the next guy better hit 30 in a round.
Man up. That's what you got to do.
Man up, dude.
And then it sounds like Manfred, like, well, we might have conversations about bringing back the new uniforms for each All-Star team. Yes. Wait, stop overthinking it. Tell stop. Just put a huge Nike logo on it if you need to on the back or something. Just whatever. Like, make a deal with them. What are we doing?
What happened to the baseball uniforms? Why'd they get so bad?
No, I don't. Why are we not just wearing your team uniform? Wear the team uniform. Like, that is how I knew Justin Duxer was playing for.
I know it's funny you said that, Darren. And like, you know, I watch baseball, but not nearly close as you guys. And I'm like watching the hitters. I'm like, I don't know who the hell that guy is. Like, I was just like, I didn't even know who the MVP was of the game because I couldn't see the logo on him. I was like, who's Duran or Duran? I was like, I don't even know who this guy is.
Duran.
He pitched that game we went to. He closed out the game.
No, not the guy that hit the homer.
The
guy from the Red Sox.
From the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Not the Duran.
I've never I'm like looking for logos, and I'm like, then like on the hat, I guess.
Oh yeah. You're like,
and it's like, oh, there it is. I was like, oh, he's Boston. I was like, I don't know who this guy is.
Plays for the American League.
He's from Boston. That's that guy.
Well, I couldn't figure out which teams. It was frustrating. I was watching on YouTube, but I was just like, I don't know. Like, I know some guys, but and the new guys, like, I didn't know that Gunner was even in person until.
That's why you need the
home run
uniform.
derby.
Gunner Stall.
Gunner Stall.
Hey, real quick, Tyler, this is kind of more for you. And Casey, if you got one, Brian, I mentioned Justin Duxer, but I asked this on my show on Thursday. Who would be the most random All-Star players that you could name from your favorite team? So this was like you also there's always got to be one player that makes the team, right?
Rick Russell.
Rick Russell. He started that game.
I would say for me, Jed Lowry.
Jed was definitely on.
Wasn't Ramon Hernandez one?
He made it. Yeah. Andrew Bailey, I know, got it there a couple times for the Rookie of the Year. Ben Greaves always a random one for me that kind of jumped in there as well. I just think it's always like sometimes you're like, who the heck is that?
Melky Cabrera.
Yeah, like you remember Adam Duvall? Doug brought that up for the Reds. Like there's some like odd names that I hadn't thought about in a long time. Brian, let's get to your Niners. Who's Aiyuk getting traded to? Are you going to get traded to the Raiders for Adams? Are we going to do that? What's going on with what's up with your boys? Are they finally going to move on from him?
I think we're at a standstill right now. I don't think he's not getting traded, and I don't think an extension's on the horizon. It's just
it sounds like
it feels like the Niners just hold all the cards. I don't think they're going to waive his fines, and he's going to have to show up at some point, or he's going to lose a lot of money.
Brian or Tyler, you want to expand on your Aiyuk thoughts here?
I don't know what's going on. I feel like as soon as they commit, they always waive the fines just for like morale. They're like, well, we don't want this guy to be all pissed off all year. But I don't think they're going to say we're going to waive the fines. They're going to make him show up. I don't think they're going to trade him. I think he'll eventually get a contract, but I don't know what they're going to do after that because then they're strapped for cash, and one of them's got to go. Debo or Aiyuk's got to go before next year. That's the bottom line. When Purdy gets paid, one of them will not be there. I don't know when it will happen.
I don't see how Debo. If you guys watch any of this Netflix things either, with them on it, it's pretty. I thought they're pretty good. I don't know if they're going to trade. Aiyuk seems to be the more natural receiver going forward with Purdy. That would seem to me where you would want to keep those two. As much as Samuel's your identity now, I would think in the next 5 years Aiyuk could pass him, and you would want to have that combination at receiver and quarterback. But I mean, was he coming out on social media doing stuff like with all that stuff too?
I just feel like it's got something to do with his girlfriend. I think she's in the background saying stuff to him, going, you got to get paid. You got to be the highest paid receiver. And it's just like.
So you think it's the people around him pushing him?
Yeah.
But if you're an agent, you can't let him go out there and play probably on that contract either.
Yeah, I mean,
who do you think Brandon Aiyuk is? He's just being controlled by his girl. Like, I don't. If that's the case, I don't want him on my team. Get out of here.
I mean, what was that comment in the interview with the guy from ESPN? He's like, "I'm not going to take a hometown discount or something."
Yeah, he says he wants up to $30 million a year. That's what he wants.
I don't blame him.
He's gonna be gone. He's not going to be on the Niners this this year.
I think what happened is sensitive feelings because Juwan Jennings got paid, McCaffrey, all these guys got extensions. Bosa, Samuel.
Juwan Jennings got $5 million a year. That's not.
He still did it, but he still got the deal done, though. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe it's that the Niners don't think he's worth $30 million. Do you think that's the case?
Do you think he's worth $30 million?
I wouldn't say he's the number one receiver in the league. I'd put him in top 10 right now.
I thought you had him in top 5 last year when we did the thing, right?
No, he doesn't have. He's not.
I don't know. I don't know.
You were right. I was wrong about
that. You guys were hyping up Drake London like you're slurping him up.
Hey, Drake, did your rookie receiver go down too in training camp?
No.
No, it's just like it was like a person. It was like a non-football thing. It has nothing to do with it. He didn't get injured.
Do you think let's put it this way, the Niners to trade him would probably have to get blown away with a pack. Like they probably have to get like 3 first-round picks?
A good old hot tour.
Is that 2 first-round picks, Tyler? What is that?
I just don't think it makes any sense to do it now. I mean, if you would have traded him, you would have done it before the draft, and then you could have used the pick and gotten somebody in the draft.
Will he actually sit out, though? Like, you guys are like, Casey, do you think he'll sit out if he doesn't get paid? Or, like, will he go Joey Galloway and actually do it or not play?
I don't think he should sit out, but I have a feeling he's pretty set in stone that he's willing to do it. But, the players that do sit out, the careers do not end well for the most part. Yeah. That's the only thing. Look at Le'Veon Bell. It just ruined his career, basically. He went to the Jets and pretty much died in football. Like, no one ever heard of him.
Josh Jacobs is another example. He didn't seem like the same running back when he held out, and then he got his contract.
Yeah, no, but Josh Jacobs is a Raider, so it's different. So.
No, he's a Packer now.
Yeah, no, screw him.
He's not a Ranger anymore. He's a Packer.
Screw him. You're right, Brian. Get him out of here.
And he was taking shots at you guys in the offseason. I was kind of like, when I read what he said, I was like, damn, I guess he really didn't like the Raiders.
Well, I don't even like them. My aunt Sheila was over there, and she's like, when is the last time the Raiders won the playoffs? Like 8 years ago? I was like, yeah, it probably feels like it. But no, it's been I was in high school the last time the Raiders won a playoff game. That's what we're talking about here, people. This is like this franchise case, like they have Max Crosby. They have that. The only way I see us doing anything with our quarterbacks, right? With nice big Aiden out there is our defense. Like I said, build up that defense, keep it playing well. They built up another tight end spot. They got him Bowers there out of Georgia, but Minshew has to take like some sort of leap. He can't just be where he's at. Like for us to be like actually the thought of winning a playoff game. Like there has to be some sort of leap taken. So the hope is, does he turn into Richard Gannon for me? That is the hope. They kind of get him off the scrap heap. He's played for multiple franchises. It's a little odd. Comes at they get him for.
He did almost take the Colts. He almost won the division.
I just want him to play more like the Trent Dilfer in Baltimore.
No, don't give me Trent. Not Trent.
No mistakes. Let that defense do its thing.
But the only problem is that the Raiders don't have Baltimore Ravens defense.
So but they do. They're getting there.
They looked good at the end of the year. They shut down the Chiefs on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Come on, Brian. Give a little respect.
They got Mad Max. They got.
But then you had O'Connell overthrowing receivers against the Chiefs.
That's why I said it's Minshew Dilfer. We don't need anything special, Brian. We just need a little 5-yard routes, 10-yard ins, nothing. Maybe a bomb here and there, and get 7 points and then lock it down for the rest of the game.
Casey, am I crazy or could he be Mitch? If you look at his stats, they're kind of like Gannon's to start out his career. He's kind of, he's not maybe quite the runner Gannon was, but he's not terrible at it. He's got a little weird flow. Maybe there's a chance.
From what I've heard, though, O'Connell is actually winning the position so far. That's what they've said out of training camp.
I think
that's what they've said. I think there's more upside with Minshew because last year, O'Connell's just really slow in the pocket. He's got to have a pocket. Like if there's no escapability really.
O'Connell looks like kind of a slower brain process here than David Carr. They look like he's the twins version of David Carr. Of
David or Derek?
Arnold. Derek.
Okay.
You definitely don't want David. That guy got sacked too many times with Houston.
Too many concussions. I'm coming off one. Sorry.
What a haircut there for David. I don't know. That's what I'm holding on hope to, because I do worry that the Raiders again. Pierce comes in, and then it's like you get pathetic quarterback play. It doesn't really matter. Like if you're you know what I mean. It just does not matter. You got Patrick Mahomes in your division.
I'm willing to do a bet with Brian. Over under more wins, Raiders or Niners. I think the Raiders are going to have more than the Niners this year.
Oh God, this again.
This is what you said last year.
Yeah.
What was the one Casey got right last year?
He said we were going to win 6 games last year.
Yeah, I think he said it was by October. That's what he said.
You guys did start, yeah, that's right.
I thought that's what it was, by October. There.
Yeah, what happened to your Lions in the NFC Championship game, Casey? What happened?
Oh, Brandon, if you're out there, listen.
They made it there. They got screwed by the referees. That's what happened.
The referee.
It was Campbell's dumb fourth down call.
It was ridiculous, 4th down call. So it was just like, what is it, the Madden 4th and forever? They're
just go for it.
Just go for it. I was just like, what the hell are? And then I was like, just take the points. Just take the points.
Take the point. That was always my favorite one. Just take the point. They were watching Little Giants the other day. Madden was on there. Jay Xavier's like, I know that. Like, kind of reminded me of that Leo DiCaprio meme where he points at the TV. That's like Xavier's like, I know that. Like he was like, because he knows it from the video game. Tyler, I gotta ask you, have you ever been to a Raiders football game?
Yeah, well, your dad, you, and Casey, and
so
Casey was very high on Ronald Curry coming home from the game. Larry Johnson ran for like 180 yards. It was a fun game. It was actually close for half, and then the team started.
Was that after Ronald Curry's 6 Achilles surgery, or was that his 5th?
I think it was before all. Well, maybe unless he had some in college.
And Brian, you've never been to an NFL game, right?
No, I haven't.
You've been to
never been to one?
Yeah, I've never been to a live NFL game. I guess.
And you can't talk about.
I always listened to my dad when he said that it's a TV game. He said it's a waste of money to go see it live.
As he's eating peanut butter.
Come on, Bruce.
As he's eating peanut butter with his fingers, he's going.
Bruce E. John. We got. You did go with us to a USC Cal game. I was telling that. I was like, I remember we said like
college football, just not NFL.
You remember who the quarterback of USC was at that time? I couldn't remember. I know David Booty. Best was the running back for the Cal. Brian, you have that look like you have no idea, so don't even try on that.
It might be John David Booty.
I'm
David Booty. You might be right. It was maybe Mr. Booty there. That
was it Mark Sanchez?
It might have been Marco. You're right. It might have been Mr. Marco. They played USC. It was like that. We were right there on the corner of the end zone, 2 seats, 2 rows empty. It was probably the best seats I've ever had.
I know there was one year we watched Andrew Luck play at Stanford.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, and then unfortunately we get back to the hotel room and took off his shoes, and that was he took off his shoes, stuck up the whole room. I was like, my God, damn!
I made a mistake. I didn't wear socks.
I remember Matt had to go outside for a little bit.
It was brutal.
That was great. One of the parts about that, I remember because we were all kind of young, and we got like a nice room in this hotel next to Palo Alto. Like here's like 8 of us walking up to the hotel, and they're like, you could tell they had this look of like, wow, these people are gonna be setting this hotel on fire. I was like, really? I was like, what are we doing? I just remember that being the theme there because we were we had like 8 people there, so that was
set it on fire.
And Casey putting the moves on Hana's friend.
Yes.
Yeah, then I think your aroma ruined the mood.
You definitely blocked that night.
What I took from that was wear socks with shoes.
Yes,
it took him 25 years.
We're pretty fortunate to go see. I mean, if you think about it, Andrew Luck, and then I think my first football game, I was telling you, the college was Cal was Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch, Deshaun Jackson, Lavelle Hawkins, and then on the other side was
Oregon State.
Oregon State. They had Steven Jackson, and then that was a pretty dope game to watch. And then the other one was with Darren and the stinking of the feet of the hotel game with Andrew Luck. But they played USC. That was a pretty cool game.
That first Cal game,
I remember there's one day. Remember there's one day
exactly.
Me and Matt were gonna go see a Cal game or something, and then we saw the traffic, and then we like turned around and like, we're not doing this.
I thought you were gonna say you forgot your socks.
Kyle Bowler wasn't worth it.
Kyle Bowler, yes, Kyle. I remember that was a big deal. Kyle Bowler for a little bit. What an art! Remember what's the draft?
D's.
Yeah, from the D's.
And then
In the last NFL thing I wrote down, Brian, I know you were probably happy to see it. I fired you up with Jerry Rice on the golf course, getting excited over it. Somebody asked him a question about
like what a dumb question. How are the Chiefs receivers going to do this year? I mean, God.
He was fired up for the season. Maybe he's trying. I don't know. Tyler, did you see that?
I mean, it's like a typical TMZ guy. They just love getting reactions from people. Jesus.
What do you think the better question would have been? Do you wear socks with shoes or?
Or did Casey get too sloppy with honest friend?
Brian.
Jerry Rice is like, who the hell are these guys?
You probably would have enjoyed your conversation more.
Probably more than the Chiefs receivers. He's like, well, at least this is entertaining.
That was funny. Did you guys see this top 100 athlete thing at all? Or since 2000? Did you see this list, Tyler? Do you have it in front of you by chance?
I don't. I can look it up real quick, but I do not. Top.
Number one was Phelps, right there.
Oh, man.
I believe was Michael
It was
Phelps.
Phelps. Phelps was number one. Charles
number
Woodson
one was Phelps. Where's the list?
LeBron was. I think Serena was in the top 5. LeBron, I believe, was close to it.
But Phil Mickelson at 68. That was kind of an.
Should we change the Lakers to the LeBron Jameses? Because I mean, it's obvious he's just controlling that team. He drafts his son. I mean, what's going on with the Lakers right now?
You think that's the case out there? Is that the talk out there in OC? Is that big LeBron? He is the Lakers. That's all he is. That's all. That's all he's good at. That's complete. I don't know. I just thought the list was kind of like. I don't know. It's hard to do. I know a list like that anyway, since you take six.
That's a terrible list. Jokic over Durant. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, I don't know.
I mean,
Barry Bonds
Phelps at number 1 is insane. He gives he does a recreational activity for fun.
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I think he's probably.
There's no other, is there another swimmer on this list? There's a reason, because there's nobody any good. Like, it's not as competitive.
He does belong to be on the list.
Yeah, not number 1.
Where would you
recreational
have him? I don't know, 23.
I just see him cannonballing over and over in the pool.
23 or something. I don't know. He's not that. You can talk about the history of sports without Michael Phelps.
Serena,
not without him. Wow.
Do they have any track and field guys on there? Like,
they had
you're saying Bolt's on here.
Johnson was really good for a while.
No, he was more
Bolt
in the 90s.
Was number 9.
Bolt was number 9. Tiger Woods 8. Like Tiger Woods below Biles is a little interesting there, and some like that. It was Tiger Woods, LeBron number 4. I mean, what are we doing?
It's like people forgot how good these people were. Like they made the list. Like the people that made the list were born in 2000. Like I'm like, do you not like? It just doesn't make sense. Tom Brady, like Steph Curry was not even on the list. Like I just don't understand it.
No, I hear you. Like Tyler, like you look at Joker and Nadal, even you're like how's he better?
Like how's Diana Taurasi ahead of Albert Pujols? That makes no sense in any world. That's ridiculous.
Have you seen those defenders in Russia?
The W's making a stand.
I think that's what a lot of this is. Tyler, is that
it's political?
Right? Ledecky was the other swimmer. She got 15.
Well, she didn't compete against Michael Phelps. It's not like
like Shaq and Duncan, 16, 17, like over Ledecky, over Shaq and Duncan. I mean, like you're right. Maybe those sports.
I would definitely not think of Shaq as an athlete. I don't know.
What? I don't know. I definitely think of him as an athlete there.
What is he then? Just a TV analyst? Or?
And then Hockey disrespected number 22.
I think he's a basketball player. I would consider him an athlete.
Isn't basketball an athlete?
I don't know. You know what I mean. It's not like I think of like athletic people as like track and field or
This list is perfect for you then, Brian.
Brian.
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, like just with mobility, agility, speed, strength, but I mean,
the guy couldn't even make free throws, for God's sake.
The man was 300 pounds and he could jump 35 inches.
You're the biggest Laker fan on the show. I was like, what are you talking about? You're the one that always used to make love to Shaq. You're just like, love Shaq. I mean, you ate like every one of his food commercials.
You pretended you were Kyle Bowler at times.
Then we had a skier at 44. I saw. So yeah, we're good. It's just kind of like an odd list. Tyler, you were the one you brought it up. Any thoughts? Other thoughts with it?
Who would be your top 5 off the top of your head? I had LeBron, Kobe, Mayweather, Messi, and Brady. Not in any particular order, but those would be my 5 top athletes since 2000.
Mine would be LeBron, Serena Williams, Tom Brady. I didn't even really think about Floyd Mayweather. And then I would put Tiger Woods in there. He's got to be in there.
Yeah.
And then I might be leaving one out, but I would probably
say
Kobe. I would go with Kobe. That's a good one, Tyler.
Who's the Russian guy that beat McGregor?
Khabib.
I'm just throwing him in the mix. He's pretty.
Did he even make the top 100?
I don't know. I just know nobody would probably want. And probably everybody on that top 100, he might be the guy they'd want to mess with the least. So he should probably be somewhere on that list. I would think.
I can't believe McGregor talking trash to him and his like entourage.
Have you seen the audio of that now? Of that fight afterwards, like when he's talking, they released video of him, like as he in that fight of him actually what he was saying. You want to talk now? You want to talk now? That's just, it spits on him at the end. Talk about a guy he had no respect by the end of that fight. But that was just kind of a funny kind of information with it. Tyler, you got any other things with that?
I always got to defend my boy. I always got to defend my boy Barry Bonds, even though he didn't play that long into the 2004 MVPs, 315 home runs. You got 4 MVP. That's more than anybody has in the history of baseball.
And there's great news
Topeka
about Barry. He's going to be elected into the Pirates Hall of Fame next week.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Would Jim Leyland show up?
Yeah, Jim Leyland.
Cuss about.
I just remember them getting in that verbal altercation in front of the media.
There was a big one. Was he smoking a cigarette during that time? I couldn't remember. He was always famous for that.
Cigar.
Get a little cigarette in there once in a while when he could. Is Steve Kerr overrated? They only beat what was it? Who'd they beat by
South
1 point?
Sudan.
South Sudan.
Is that in Egypt? I don't know where that's. I think that is. Is that in
Sudan? It's north.
It's in Africa.
It's in Africa.
South of north.
Youngest team I saw internationally. They said is Kerr. Tyler always defending his boy Stephen Kerr. Got a little pushback. I saw you commented on somebody that said Eric Spoelstra should be coaching this team. You guys, it seemed like a friendly conversation, but I kind of agree. I've always said Eric Spoelstra has the resume, I think, over Kerr.
What does he have over Kerr? Please explain. What has he done that Kerr has not done? No. You said he has a resume over Kerr.
I was going to say. So I think when Kerr has not had as good a quality of talent around him, he does not usually raise the level of play to them. I'm talking like not playoffs, like when he's had bad teams, they are bad. I feel like Spoelstra, even the run they made a few years ago, he kind of gets the most out of some guys that aren't always what you think of as good players, and he's able to do enough defensively, strategy-wise, to figure it out. I don't know. I just feel like he gets the most out of every group he has. So I can see a real argument where Spoelstra is actually a better coach than Steve Kerr.
So I still don't see it. You said they won more games with worse talent, but they don't win anything. They're not really winning anything except for like occasionally, like maybe 10 more games a year. Like when Kerr's had bad years, had bad years, he had $70 million of payroll not playing. Clay was out, Steph was out, Dre would be basically checked out because he wasn't going to raise any. They were playing with garbage. It was like a terrible team. He won a championship with his second player being Andrew Wiggins. That's not a great second player to win a championship with. There's not many teams that have won a championship with that being your second best player level. Like, that's raising the talent, isn't it?
It is. I thought that is definitely. I guess I mean with lower, like with teams that aren't even like playoff quality rosters, like that's where like I see a little difference with them.
When would Spoelstra miss the playoffs in a couple of years?
Yes, but
when they got Jimmy Butler and Jimmy Butler would play out of his mind in the playoffs, yeah, they played better. That wasn't because of. I mean, coaching helps. Don't get me wrong.
I just think.
I mean, I think you're forgetting too, Darren, because Miami, because they've been in the playoffs, they've been there the 8th seed the last 2 years. Not that like they've been. I mean, they had the one great run, but they've been the 8th seed the last 2 years. So, as much as you want to hype up Spoelstra as being a great coach, and
missed the playoffs last
year. By what, 1 seed from Miami?
And they play in the East. It's so much easier to win in the East.
I don't know. I all my point is I think when you're saying Kerr's so much better, I don't think that's.
I didn't say that.
I think
I'll say that. I think he's so much better. He's got freaking 9 rings to show for. I mean, like he's a champion. He's 4-time coach. Okay, he's got 4.
I would say you put Kerr next to Phil Jackson at this point, don't you think?
So why do you think the overrated talk then, Tyler?
Because everyone hates the Warriors.
I don't know about all that, but
I mean,
for sure.
We ripped on Kerr a little bit last year at KCB, so like we get frustrated.
No, I mean I do get frustrated, but that's only because his rotations. I think sometimes
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, but I think right now in USA basketball, I mean, you have so many egos, dude. Like if you're gonna sit guys, I mean, they got to take a pride check here, but he's pretty much come out and said that. I mean, from what it looks like, the 5 guys that will be starting will be LeBron, Steph, Durant if healthy, Embiid, and probably Drew Holiday is the starting 5.
Why don't we hear anything about the USA women's coach? They just lost a game. You didn't hear a word about that coach.
Did they play
that one? Yeah, they lost to the WNBA team. Not a word.
Well, wasn't that them playing against all USA players at the end of the day?
But they had the 12 best players in the USA.
Wait, isn't Caitlin Clark on the other team, though?
What is that?
And Reese?
Is she one of the 12 best players? Is Reese?
But she's not on Team USA, right? Team USA, right?
No.
And you're saying the team that was, the other team beat them. So, but aren't that's what I was saying. Some of the best players are not even on made their team, right?
Apparently.
Apparently, but everybody said that. They're like, why is Caitlin Clark not playing?
But they made
she scored 4 points. He wasn't like tearing it up.
Give me the breakdown then. What teams? Give me that.
I don't give a hoot. I'm just saying
Enrique Gumalale, man, she was on fire. She had 21 in the third. I mean, dude, she can ball out. Like she was putting up.
So she was making a case that she should be on the
she was the best player on the floor, no doubt. Easy. Like
maybe they just didn't care. Maybe
she made I think it was 4 threes in the third quarter, and they were not easy threes, dude. Like it was legit. Like she's probably the best one-on-one player in the WNBA.
Couldn't you say the same thing about the men? They didn't care. They gave up 100 points to people we've never heard of. Like I blame that on players more than the coach.
This game they cared, dude. Like I mean, Kelsey.
No, I'm talking about the men.
Oh, the men. Yeah, the men.
They were playing. They gave up 100 points. I've never if we played a city league and our worst player was better than the other team's best player, I would ever, if we lost, go. It's probably the guy doing the rotations. It's that guy's fault. That's insane.
Like when the Blue Beagle got beat 120 to 38.
So is Team USA for the women, Tyler, you're just saying they're not getting as much criticism for it as well. But
the coach got no criticism.
I mean, lost. At the end of the day, maybe they just don't have the meat. And when Team USA plays the way they play, they're going to get most of the hype, I guess, more than the women's side of it.
But as soon as KD comes back, this team changes. It's going to be lights out.
Get Derek White on the floor more. What are we doing?
Get Anthony Edwards off the floor more. That's my business.
Well, Embiid's a weird fit with them, too, the way they
he doesn't really play Davis more.
So Kerr, Not maybe overrated, but that's the talk. Don't lose, Steven. You and Grant Hill will take a little heat, right? We got to be able to see if he can
for sure.
Play. Top 5 TV shows that you guys enjoyed over your time growing up.
I know Casey's already a Walker, Texas Ranger.
Number 1.
I got no clue to go to Walker, Texas.
That's how it went back then, Brian. If you had the TV first, you guys had to go upstairs, all right? So
I couldn't believe it for an all-star game. Like, this guy's watching Walker, Texas Ranger.
And this time it counted, Brian. I remember that.
Brian, you gonna go with Brian, you gonna go with The View?
The View. The View did
Definitely not. They're just taking shots at my boy every day, Trump. I mean, it's every single day with those ladies, man. They're going after him.
Tyler, what do you got for your top 5 TV shows?
Do you want me to go in order?
Yeah, sure.
I got Curb, Everybody Loves Raymond, Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy just for the first 3 seasons, and then good old Doug.
Good old Doug.
I don't. So name the 5 again for me.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Never seen all of it. I love seeing that.
Doug, Breaking Bad, and I don't remember what I said for the 5th one.
Is Breaking Bad that good? I feel like
Sons of Anarchy. Oh, it's amazing.
Breaking Bad is good.
You seen Breaking Bad, the whole thing?
Yeah.
Brian, you seen any of those shows? I know you've seen Doug.
You've seen Doug.
I loved Everybody Loves Raymond.
It's the best. It's the best sitcom. It's better than Seinfeld. I don't care what anyone says.
Remember when he gets poked in the eye and there's a guy up there that's blinded in one eye? He's like, "Oh my God, my eye!" That was the funniest thing ever.
Have you seen the one where his mom brings home like a statue and it looks like a woman's lady's parts and all of them know that it looks like that, but the mom, and they're just like, and then all of a sudden the mom realizes it, and it's just fun episode.
The mom and dad are unreal in that show.
Oh yeah, they're great.
I mean, and the brother, like it just all works the way that show.
Raymond.
And then he writes for the Mets, right, or something like that, or he does some sort of sport.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah. Beat writer or something. So that was kind of funny. That's a good show there. Brian, what's your top 5? If you have one?
I'm about to go Smallville. It used to be on the CW, and then
One Tree Hill.
I'm gonna go Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. And then
have you watched the new season?
I would probably have to go with One Tree Hill, and then
Sophia Bush, classic.
And then I'd go Friday Night Lights. I really like that show. And then I think the last one I probably would go with is on Dawson's Creek. Was really good.
Brian, what I just realized,
I love it, Johnson.
You love high school drama.
What happened to the Hills? They left them out.
Yeah, the Hills.
I think they might be in my top 10, but not top.
What's the other? I thought you watched like Vanderpump or something like that too, or something. Is that true? The Vanderpump?
Real Housewives?
No, I don't watch that. No.
Lauren Conrad's going to be very upset with you, Brian. She's not going to appreciate this.
No Kyle Bullard.
Sometimes I'll be like, why are you watching this? She's like, I just watched the New Jersey Housewives. That's it. I don't watch all the other ones. That's a good list there, Brian. I remember Smallville. Yes, you were a big fan of the Superman one there. That's the one. And then that was what I remember you just kind of. And then One Tree Hill, you would even come over to my apartment with you and Han at One Tree Hill night. That was the show. Come on over.
Would you bring? You were interested in it too, Darren. You were.
You were right. I was captivated by the entertainment. The basketball part always did kind of it. His dad was a jerk.
I probably would say an honorable mention. Let's say, remember the series, The OC.
Did you watch any non-high school drama, sir?
90210.
Lot order. Chase, what's your top 5?
I have a feeling Brian went through a lot of rice cakes during that year.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
No, maybe the Taco Bell, with the chips and the little cups of
the chips and cheese.
Chips and cheese.
Number 5 for me, definitely. I'd say Rugrats. That was definitely a classic. For the new, I guess it's kind of new. Is I like the All American, the football. I don't know if you guys seen it, but that one's
I've
good.
seen the first couple seasons.
Number 3, definitely Texas Walker Ranger, one of the best. It's just a classic.
Who
Chuck
was the-
Norris.
Have you seen
Passed
the new series, Casey?
I don't believe so. Oh,
They have a
Cordell.
new- They have a new series?
Yeah, it's on the CW. They're doing Walker Texas Ranger again.
What
But with
would
new
you
characters.
when you were born? Did you just get a lifetime package for the CW or what?
I
Is it
know
called-
back in the day, it used to be called the WB, and they would have like a dancing frog that would
Yeah, with the
dance.
top hat. Yeah.
Is that the channel that what was it?
I
The
thought that
one
was Smacks, the cereal, the dancing the frog with the top hat.
No, that's a different one. The gargoyles was on there.
Was that the show Buffy the Vampire was on to that? Or is that
Yeah,
what
that was
that
on
was that
that
channel?
channel.
All right, so everything that Johnson named so far was been on CW.
The
I think
anime.
we got to bring up Even Stevens too. Remember we used to watch.
Hey, this
that
is
at
I'm still on my list, you son of a gun.
You can't get Brian off the CW.
Good, Dave.
I think an underrated one for whatever reason I love that show was Alex Mack. I don't know why, but
Good looking ugly.
and then yeah, that is true. And that's probably why I did like it actually. And then I think my final and my favorite one was definitely God, what the hell? I just blanked on it. Was Doug? Excuse me, Doug.
Doug was the best one there.
Yeah, I think so. Just
Skeeter.
Patty Mayonnaise, Doug, like just everything. The whole. It was like
Patrick
teach. It was like teaching kids like about middle school. It's the best way I could teach it or think about it. But
OTH.
Another
for the win.
CW guy.
Yeah.
One Tree Hill.
See,
another
see, Ryan,
CW guy.
Ryan had the box set, so when I was roommates with him, I'd always borrow it and be watching it on my DVD player.
Who?
Was that part of your spank? Spank? I don't know how to say this without. Let's move on.
I think you might have to clarify before you move on.
Who was the main character of that show again, Brian? Is it William? What's that guy's name? The blonde guy, the blonde hair. Come on, what? The guys that played basketball.
Oh,
Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah,
I saw him at Disneyland.
But what was their names in that show?
Oh,
Chad Michael Murray.
That was Lucas.
Lucas. Lucas, good old Lucas there. I had my number one is, I know Tyler hates it, but I like it. Seinfeld. I've watched that by more than any show that I had on there. Sports Center. You guys could say no, but I've watched that show more than any show.
Oh, that's a great. That's a good
So I watched Sports Center more than
Come on,
any-
that's not a show.
Yes, it is, Johnson. Back in the day, it was an hour program. It was a show.
What they say? They said, "Welcome to the big show."
Welcome to the big show. The Baseball Tonight. That was a show I watched. That I liked a lot as well. Sorry, that's one
you
there.
Peter Gammons.
Boy Meets World for sure. And then what I used to watch a lot, underrated. I still think it's underrated because none enough people talk about it. Smart Guy on the Disney Channel. I'm gonna go that one for me. It was a great show with Big Mo and all those guys. So I'm gonna
Super intelligent,
kids.
fine young gentleman.
exactly. So I don't know. Those were my top 5 with it. Yeah, there's some.
And then we forgot Step by Step because it was part of TGIF back in the day.
Did you know Mo was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother?
I did not know that. What was that show?
Either.
You remember ESPN experimented with shows for a while? They're like series, and there's like they had that weird, they had like that football one. He was like one of the running backs on it. You remember that, Brian, or something?
Yeah, they wore like blue jerseys.
Yeah, I forget what that one was called.
Remember when they had that Bobby Knight movie? And man, I felt bad for those players because the man, he was just yelling at him. He made that guy like practice right-handed with one hand. I was just like, man, that's brutal.
Brian Dennett. Brian Dennett. It's Bobby Knight.
That movie was that thing was one of the worst. That's like
I like the Dale Earnhardt one.
Dale Earnhardt. I forgot that one's in there too.
I
They
think a
also
movie.
put
I
Friendship
think a show too that's always forgotten. I think, but is like I think we watched it a ton. Was Family Matters.
Yeah, those like
Yeah.
younger. Yeah, we watched that one a lot too.
Steve Urkel.
I was trying to think like
Saved by the Bell is great.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That's definitely on the class. Right? Yeah. Yeah, those were on there. And then
Kelly
Kelly
Kapowski.
Kapowski. Yeah.
what shows did your parents watch, Tyler? They don't watch TV like that.
My mom watched soap operas. My dad watched the news.
So they never watched any TV shows or like a show that they
General Hospital.
Maybe Jeopardy. Me and my dad would watch Family Guy every once in a while, but then they started saying some inappropriate stuff. And I was like, I don't want to be around my dad.
So they didn't watch. See, my dad was kind of like that. He didn't actually have like a set show he'd watch, but
It was
my
all
mom,
sports. It was
my mom
whatever
would have
game was
one.
on.
She'd have her shows. Rescue
The
911.
View. The View.
I just remember The View in the morning.
All my
Damn
children.
it, no more video games. Going outside.
What outside for? Yeah,
Oprah was a good one.
All in the Family. That was a good one.
Oh, that's
Oprah.
classic.
God, Oprah, man, she was
You
hot
get a
back
car.
in
I
the
didn't
day.
get a car. There's it. All right, well, that's some good lists. That was some good memories. Bring it back with it. Brian, how about a show that you watched that is your wrestling? You got your WWE with it. You said you weren't watching it as much with it. It's weird to me that wrestling as you watch it, it seems like it's going back to the era that we were growing up in. It seems like they're trying to go back, trying to push the limits again. So that show might make the list again at some point if they keep going to that. That's what I think. You guys notice that at all? Tyler, I know you don't watch it, but I know you follow enough on like X and stuff to like kind of know what's going on. And
For sure.
So I just think it's kind of funny. I feel like they're pushing the limits back again. It's kind of interesting watching it take place.
Yeah, because there's that whole Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio thing where they're
that's definitely part of it for sure.
Exactly.
Are they going to have wrestlers telling fans to take off their tops? Will that be coming back? I think there's going to be limits to like how far it comes back. But
Pat
it'll
McAfee.
definitely be coming back.
I don't see that.
You might do it.
I don't see that being the case. You're right. I don't see that being the case.
No, it's a lot more violent too now. I mean, with the Wyatt Six. Remember the Wyatt Six when they had the people look like Chad Gable got shot in the head? It was just bodies. You didn't see where the Wyatt family, they're back.
And I saw they came back.
It was just like a big smoke screen of just like wrestlers like laid out, like it just bloodied up. And there was like a blood hole basically looked like Chad Gable got shot in the head. It's just like, it was pretty dope though. Yeah, no, it's pretty dope.
I remember before WrestleMania, the whole, Rock beating the living hell out of Cody Rhodes outside. That was pretty bloody.
This is for Mama Rhodes. Mama Rhodes. No, I mean, there's definitely more cussing too. I mean, more of I would say not like a dirty angle, but just more like kind of more NC-17, I guess, than PG-13. It's definitely ramped up, especially like sexually and just some of the jokes and the way they're talking and just even some of the moves. Like it's a lot more brutal now. I think like just like before they were kind of like, I think some of the like the chair shots and different things like they put like around their necks and like now it's like shoving them and slamming someone through a table like every single time. The Usos, just like the bloodline, I guess now, but that whole thing's kind of like just taking over where they got like, they call them like what, 4 of the Tama Tonga Lola, and then they got his other brother. It's just like,
is Troy Polamalu coming back?
I don't know if they sponsor him.
It's just interesting to me that they're kind of pushing that angle again a little bit more. Kind of, we'll see.
I love it.
I thought the funniest T&B was when we were trying to compare WWE stars, the Niners, and Darren just couldn't stop laughing during the whole thing.
The one of them, I couldn't remember what got me going on that one, but just the way you picked some random ones though. I think Tyler and I were like,
Rick Rude.
Rick Rude.
It's like Nick Bosa.
Yeah, that's what it was. Rick Rude. That's what it was. All right, we're getting a little long on the show, but I want to do one last thing since I got the 4 of you out. We'll get out of here. We kind of started it with baseball a little bit. Tyler, we did it last week. A little shout out to BSE Sports. Let's see if we're back on it. I wanted to do just that Immaculate Grid one more time to see if we could have some fun with it. The 4 of us here that watched a lot of baseball. Brian has a Mark Lemke type knowledge as well, so we could see if we got anybody there. But did you guys know anybody? We got the Braves and the Cubs. Anybody there?
Maddox is the obvious one.
But we got ideas of
Kimbrel.
Craig. Yeah, that's probably another popular one too.
What about Doug Glanville or no?
Doug Glanville, did he play for the Braves? I'm not sure if he played for the Braves. And then you have Giants, Cubs. There's got to be some random one out there. Come on, Johnson or Tyler. You got to think of that played for the Cubs.
But it said played catcher, right?
Who?
No, it says right there. It says played catcher.
Yeah, and then you got to think of one guy that played for the Cubs that played catcher at some point over there. So it could be just he only had to play one game for him. So that'd be it. I see for Pirates, I'm gonna go because I interviewed him one time. I don't think he played much, so let's see if he's on there. Mike McKinstry, I think his name is.
McHenry.
McHenry. Henry.
8.
Oh, I gotta go. Mike Mc. Oh, yeah, look it up, I guess. Well, what do you got, Tyler, for another one?
Good effort.
Blue Jays that played catcher. Did Terry Steinbach play for the Blue Jays?
I believe he did. I thought he did. Terry Steinbach? I thought he did.
MCK,
No.
That's what it was. That's why I got it right on there. Mike. Man,
Blue Jays. I know, that's a tough one. The Giants, I mean, Barry Bonds, obviously.
Jason Smith, Giants pitcher, Pittsburgh, or Javi Lopez.
I'm gonna say random.
Oh, you
Blue
could do
Jays,
Andrew McCutchen.
Pat Borders.
Pat Borders for who?
For the Blue Jays. Maybe
Played
he played
catcher?
for another team. Yeah. He
So
definitely
who's
played
that?
catcher for the Blue Jays.
I was going to
Pat
say
Borders.
Andrew McCutchen for the Pirates and Giants.
That's a good
I think
one.
Lopez would be lower, but that's
Who's that? Jorge Lopez?
Javi.
Javi Lopez.
That's right. The pitcher.
Hey, hold on real quick. Didn't Pedro Feliz play for the Pirates?
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's
I'd
probably
do that
lower.
one.
That's if Pedro makes the list over there.
I vote for Pedro.
I'll see if I'm right, though. No, he did not play for the Pirates. So
Idiot, Darren.
I thought he did.
I thought he did too.
So we'll go
Oh,
Javi.
Wrong
Melky
again,
Cabrera, Melky Cabrera could have been that one. There's a lot of those.
They got there that Javi Lopez did not play for him as well. They died.
Me and Brian should take over this game. You guys are terrible.
Who do you have there, Casey?
I said Andrew McCutchen.
I was trying to get one where it wasn't so obvious with it, but we got one.
Apparently, it's more obvious than yours.
Well, I know it's obvious. I got him 50%. That's not bad. The Blue Jays Braves one. That's a tough one, I think. Blue Jays Braves. I have a little harder time with that one. That one I know.
What about Ricky Pendleton? Did he play for
Terry Pendleton.
Terry Pendleton?
Terry. He played. I don't think he played for the Cubs though, right? I don't know if he played.
I thought you said Braves and Blue Jays.
I don't think. Did he play for the Blue Jays?
I don't know. I know he played for the
Did
Braves.
Jason Bay play for the Braves?
Terry Bullhall. No, he did not. Who?
Jason Bay. Did
Jason
he play
Bay.
for the Braves? No, Braves in Pittsburgh.
I don't think he did pay for. Let's find out. We've already missed so many anyway, so let's find out if we got him. I don't. Let's see if Tyler. No, he did not play for the Braves in there. Not our best performance this week.
Nori Aiyuk will be.
No, don't put
Blue
this
Jays
on.
Giants.
Don't put this on me and Brian. This was you and Tyler.
Don't give me your answer.
Didn't I get one right with Pat Borders?
You did get Patrick Borders right.
And
there.
I got McCutchen, Brian. They got 0 now.
Well, that was a good show, guys. I like talking about all that stuff with you guys, catching up with the Coliseum, the Niners. It was nice to do a show a little bit more relaxed where nobody had to hopefully get out of here too fast. So it was kind of fun being able to kind of talk a little bit and do a kind of an old school Fatboy FadeAway show in that regard. So hopefully we'll get to do that 1994 All-Star game at some point. That'd be fun to do that again with you guys with some of the names that were involved there with it. But that was a good show, guys. I appreciate it. Tyler, glad to hear you're feeling better, my friend. Survived.
Yeah.
And I'll be on it more since we're heading right into football season.
That's the key, Johnson. We get football season around the key. We got to bring your hot takes about when Aiyuk gets traded to the Raiders. We'll immediately have you on to see what happens with it. We'll trade you Aiden O'Connell. You got a nice little backup there for Mr. Aiyuk. There, you can take that.
I think it's Devontae Adams or nothing.
That's Casey's mentality. It's Walker, Texas Ranger, or nothing. We got to deal with it. That was the thing.
And the lifetime supply of socks for Brian.
Right. The homeless shelters usually are giving away socks. I've gone there. I collect them all the time. They give them
I've had plenty of socks now.
All right, good. All right, guys.
All right.
Episode 183 in the books. That was a fun show. Appreciate all of you as always. Hope to see you guys next Sunday. Till then, peace.
Peace.